Hello students, welcome back to class. It's good to have you in class again. So today we are going to be discussing the protection of human rights and the rule of law. In the last class we discussed the rule of law and we identified fundamental human rights as a characteristics of the rule of law. So today we are going to be looking at how these different rights can be protected in the society. At the end of this class, you should be able to explain the different ways by which individuals and groups protect human rights. You should also be able to identify some groups that help in protecting the human rights of citizens in the society. So when you hear of human rights, what comes to your mind? What are human rights? Human rights can be defined as basic liberties that belong to citizens in the society. Now, these rights protect the dignity of all human beings in the society. So, as a human being in the society, as a citizen of the nation, you have certain rights that belong to you, and no one is supposed to take those rights from you under no circumstances, except if you have committed a crime. That is when a part of the right can be seized from you. For instance, a criminal who is in detention, his right to freedom of movement has been seized from him. Human rights in the society also protect the weak and the vulnerable from abuses and assault. Now, these rights are usually spelled out in the constitution and they ought to be protected at all time. Anyone who violates the right of another one is a punishable offense and should not be seen in the society. Now, over time, we have some groups and some individuals who have devoted their lives to help safeguard the rights of citizens in the country, especially the rights of the weak and the vulnerable, like children and women in the society. These people can be called human rights activists because they fight for the rights of others. Now, they include journalists, whistleblowers, trade unionists, lawyers, teachers, and so on. Anyone can become a human rights activist in the society. All the person needs to do is to stand up for the protection of the rights of individuals in the society. Examples of some individuals that help in protecting the rights of citizens in the country. We have notable individuals like Festus Keyamo, Ganifa Wehimi, we have Kiki Modi, we have Dele Giwa, we have Fela Kuti, we have Nelson Mandela, we have Omoyele Sowore, we have Wole Soyinka, we have Femi Falana, and so on. So these are just a few names of some of the common human rights activists that we have in the society. These are individuals now who devote, some of them are lawyers, some of them are journalists, some of them are trade unionists, some of them are teachers, but over time they have devoted themselves to help safeguard the rights of the vulnerables in the society. Now, moving forward, let's look at some examples of groups that help to protect human rights in the society. We have groups like civil society organization, we have group like Liberty Organization, we have the National Human Rights Commission, we have the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons. This agency prohibits the trafficking of women and children abroad for illegal and inhuman purposes. We also have the Berekete family. We have different unions at different levels. We have Safe Child Africa. We have Women Trafficking and Child Labor Eradication Foundation. We have a host of groups and organizations in Nigeria who have devoted themselves, who help to fight for the rights of the marginalized and the rights of the vulnerables in the society. Moving forward, we are going to be looking at the roles of individuals and groups in protecting human rights in the society. Now, what do these individuals and groups do to help safeguard the rights of citizens in the society? Number one, they represent the affected person in court as a counsel. Now, human rights activists who are lawyers can help to represent people whose rights have been violated from them in court as a legal counsel or as a lawyer who will defend the case. Under this group, we have a popular name like Femi Falana, who has over time, he's a lawyer and he has over time helped defend citizens in court. So most times, these activists go to court and represent people who their rights have been marginalized in court. Number two, they draw the attention of governments to cases of violation and abuses in the society. Whenever any case of violation or abuse is seen in the society, they blow the whistle so that the government and appropriate agencies can know that the right of of such person has been violated. An appropriate investigation can be taken to ensure that the violators of sort of that person's right is brought to book and is punished accordingly. Number three, they organize and sponsor media programs to enlighten people about their rights. So they go about to media houses, to radio houses, to TV stations, even to newspapers. They publish in newspapers just so that the public can be aware that they have certain rights that no one can take from them on no instances. In class, I gave some examples of human rights. We have right to life, freedom of speech, freedom of movement, right to fair hearing in court, freedom of religion, freedom of assembly and association. These are just a few of the fundamental rights that human beings have in the society. So, number four, they embark on peaceful protests and media coverages just to fight for the rights of the marginalized in the society. If you remember, during the NSAS protest of October last year, most of these human rights activists were out to support the youth in a peaceful protest against police brutality. So they support people, they embark on peaceful protest and hunger strike just to create sensitization or to fight for the fundamental rights of citizens in the society. Now we're going to be looking at the dangers involved in the violation of human rights in the society. These are some of the consequences that happens when the rights of people are violated in the society. So let's look at some of the consequences of violating human rights in the society. One, there will be social instability. The society will not be stable. There will be chaos. There will be war. There will be an uproar. The case of violation, the society cannot be stable. There will be fighting. There will not be peace. So one of the consequences of violation of human rights is social instability. Number two, low productivity. When there is chaos in the society cannot develop. So low productivity is a consequence of violating human rights in the society. Number three, torture and illegal treatment of citizens in the society. Now, this can be seen in the police brutality. That is why the youth came out last year to fight against police brutality. What happens during police brutality? Most times, the innocent people are unlawfully detained and tortured and maltreated. They are beaten, they are stark naked, and they are made to face all manner of ill treatment by the law enforcement agencies. Number four, insecurity and the loss of lives and properties in the society. When human rights are violated in the society, there's going to be insecurity and also loss of lives and properties in the society. Number five, it will increase the aggressive behaviors in youths in the society. If you recall, during the ENSAS period, some youths were angry and were aggressive because of police brutality. So where there are cases of violation of human rights in the society, there will be cases of aggression, and there will be cases of people trying to take laws into their hands just because they want to fight against all form of brutality or violation in the society. Come to the end of today's class. I mentioned at the beginning that human rights are liberties that belong to citizens in the society. These rights protect the dignity of all human beings in the society. So as a citizen of the country, you have certain rights that have been given to you, rights like freedom of speech, the right to life, right to fair hearing in court, right to freedom of movement, right to freedom of association and assembly, and so on and so forth. So these are basic rights that have been given to you in the society, and these rights are written in the constitution, and under no condition should the rights be taken away from you except in cases of crimes where an individual has committed a crime. That is when some of the rights can be taken away from such individual. So now we have groups and individuals over time who have devoted themselves to the protection of human rights in the society. We have individuals like lawyers, journalists, trade union leaders, whistleblowers, trade unionists, teachers, and so on. So now these individuals and group help to defend the rights of people in the society. So our rights as citizens ought to be protected at all times. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this class. The leading questions will be displayed on the screen. Please do well to answer them in your note. We'll be discussing them when next we meet in class. Thank you for watching. Do have a lovely day. Bye.